is Dragon Ball Super Chapter 93. It delivers on what we know about from the movie already, in the Dragon Ball Superhero movie, and we also see an insight recap of the Broly film. In a riveting sequence on Beerus' planet, we witness the epic showdown between Broly and Goku, which then leads us into the flashback of Broly's time as an infant on planet Vegeta. It was during this fateful moment that King Vegeta made the decision to end Broly's life, knowing full well that his immense power would overshadow even his own son, Prince Vegeta, and other high ranking Saiyans, despite Broly's lack of noble birth. While we may be familiar with this backstory, what unfolds next is the meetup between Cheelai, Limo, and Broly. Recognizing Broly's immense potential and feeling empathy for his years of isolation on planet Vampa with his dad, they extend an invitation for them to join and potentially have Broly since he's a powerful ally. As fate would have it, Broly finds himself confronting our beloved heroes Goku and Vegeta on Earth, delivering a huge beatdown that leaves them reeling. Meanwhile, this motherfucker Frieza lurks in the shadows, seeking to manipulate Broly into eliminating his nemesis Goku and Vegeta for him. However, Frieza's plans backfire spectacularly as Broly's transformation unleashes a devastating fury triggered by the tragic loss of his father, and Frieza is left afterwards to eventually suffer a huge ass whooping from Broly's hands. Frieza getting his ass beat is still hilarious to this day and never gets old. Let's just see a replay real quick on the immense ass whooping he ends up taking. But give my boy Frieza his credit. He was fighting that demon for about, an hour I want to say? That's still something impressive. By the end of it, Broly fights Gogeta and eventually ends back on his homeworld Vampa, except now he has Cheelai and Limo with him. People Broly can truly call allies at this point. I just want to point out how much I love this trio. It just fits so well. And who can complain anytime Cheelai makes screen time, am I right? Yo, let me chill out before Beerus destroys my ass.
Destroys your what?
Yo, pause, man. Returning to the present day, Goku begins training Broly to help him learn how to control his immense power. Despite their efforts, Broly still struggles to suppress his power when it becomes overwhelming, and he still needs some work. Goku has to slow Broly down before he goes berserk. Wait a minute, berserk? I gotta say, it's amusing to witness Goku give a lecture to Broly on the importance of controlling his immense power. I mean, shit, Goku is determined and trying his best to prevent a reoccurrence of what happened during the Broly movie. Especially not on Lord Beerus' planet. Of course, if Broly did lose control again on his planet, I'm sure Beerus is not gonna let that shit slide. Therefore, as Goku counsels Broly on the need to regulate his power, he also seeks counsel from Vegeta to assist Broly in this problem. As we observe Vegeta, we can definitely see that he's adopted a different approach to his training regimen. Instead of relying solely on brute force training or sparring, he is taking to the practice of meditation. It's also very reminiscent of what we often see Piccolo engaging in from time to time. However, as a Goku fan, it pains me to admit that the next part makes me want to split my head open. But before I do, just in case you guys forgot, let me note that this meditation technique is the same one that Vegeta learned during his time on Yardrat. Goku turns to Vegeta and inquires, "Hey, you want to help out? You'll get rusty just sitting there forever," observing that Vegeta is in a state of deep meditation. And this and what was coming up was enough to make me sit there with a dead look on my face. Goku is undeterred and proceeds to note that meditation training is an unconventional approach for Vegeta. Traditionally, Vegeta has subjected himself to grueling and strenuous training that pushes him to his limits, making this serene approach to training a new and unexpected development. Vegeta proceeds to recite a roster of his foes, including Jiren, Broly, Moro, Gas, and Frieza. He then turns to Goku and asks him what these adversaries had that he lacked. Goku, in his typical meathead fashion, and I'm strictly talking for Dragon Ball Super Goku at this point, but with his typical meathead fashion, responds with the simplistic suggestion that Vegeta should train his body more. This exchange leaves me feeling somewhat disheartened, man, as it highlights how the writers of Dragon Ball Super have portrayed Goku as somewhat dense, with a limited understanding of training. And this isn't me trying to shit on Super, because as I am a devoted fan of the series, I just feel that Goku's characterization in Super is just extremely lacking compared to earlier iterations of Goku's character. Of course, mainly talking about Dragon Ball Z. This is something Goku has fully been aware about for a long time now, and I believe instead of Goku having this look of surprise, he should be agreeing with Vegeta and complimenting that Vegeta has finally figured out that there's more to training and getting stronger than brutal methods on your own body. Goku has known this stuff since Dragon Ball Z, and I'm just not a fan of this change of character when we all know that Goku is a genius when it comes to martial arts. In response to Goku's suggestion that he simply needs to train his body more, Vegeta calmly corrects them, pointing out that their physical forms have already been pushed to their absolute limits. He asserts that their training has already brought them to a level where they are able to compete with and overcome the foes that they have faced thus far. This observation highlights the fact that there is a limit to what can be achieved through physical training alone, and that a more balanced approach to training is necessary in order to continue to progress and improve. Now, if we're talking about just their bodies alone, then their training has already made them on par against those opponents Vegeta mentioned earlier. The key difference between them and their opponents is not the raw power that they possess, but rather how they wield that power. He notes that too much energy is often wasted in the heat of battle, which can be detrimental to their overall performance. To overcome this, Vegeta suggests that they need to learn to fight and attack in a more relaxed state, which will make it more difficult for their enemies to anticipate their moves. This approach will also enable them to unleash explosive bursts of power when necessary, while also conserving their stamina at the same time. And you can never go wrong in preserving stamina. Whis applauds Vegeta for his explanation and tells Goku that just beefing up your muscles doesn't equal to proper training on its own. Soon after, we suggest a triple threat battle between Goku, Vegeta, and Broly for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, with Whis as a special guest referee. Nah, I'm just kidding. But he does suggest a three-way battle, but Goku and Vegeta are not having it with Broly. Goku admits Broly has gotten better, but they should still keep their eyes on him for his outburst in power. And I just love the look on Vegeta's face here as Whis recommends Broly as an opponent too. Just imagine when Broly becomes a full-blown master, man. It's gonna be crazy. Alright, the stakes are high as the possibility arises that if Broly was to lose control, the fate of the planet would be fucked. Even Whis acknowledged this, and as a result, for the time being, only Vegeta and Goku will engage in combat to test the theory they had earlier discussed. Broly will be observing from the sidelines, witnessing firsthand what it means to maintain control and keep his emotions in check. Beerus wakes up from his short nap equivalent to 4 months in Earth time. Beerus, you lucky son of a bitch. I just wish that I had the opportunity to take a short nap like that. It's honestly a whole mood if you think about it. We all just need a rest from the world and its bullshit for that long. At least if I took that kind of nap, I'd most likely be playing Spider-Man 2 by now, and God knows how much I need that game. Beerus peeps everyone here. He sees Broly and freaks out too, because he's like, Broly's gonna destroy my place. He realizes that there's more house guests, so he's like, what the fuck, man? This ain't a hotel. But he smells the sweet aroma of food in the air, and you know this is gonna catch Beerus' attention. And the food hits for Beerus, so this guy already got a pass to stay on the planet. And then comes Cheelai. Cheelai starts walking by. Beerus then begins to ask who is this, but he doesn't see Cheelai's face yet. Cheelai starts introducing herself and makes it known to Beerus that he's the god of destruction, and she knows that he's the most feared entity in the whole universe. And then her face appears in front of Beerus, not covered anymore. Yo, I'll still say it. I'm still surprised to this day. When I saw that Dragon Ball superhero movie that this scene happened, Beerus actually fell for a girl. I was not expecting from the moment we saw Beerus that he'd be falling for Cheelai when we first saw her in the Broly movie. He calls her a cutie as he's blushing, and he's like, all right, stay as long as you want. Fuck it. I wonder if the gods in that universe have special gods of destruction, cologne, that's just out of this world, out of this universe. You just know that it hits different. He's ready to go spray on a bunch of that shit right now to Rizz Cheelai up. But shifting the focus, Whis is eager to resume the exhilarating fight he had already set up between Goku and Vegeta. However, just as Whis is about to commence the battle, Goku mentions that he's pretty hungry and he can use some food first. And what can you expect from Goku, am I right? But If you want to see the best results from Goku when he's training, then you might as well give him a good ass meal beforehand. Shifting our focus again, we find ourselves in the company of Piccolo, who is on the quest to locate Dende. He finds Dende and remembers about the time when the Grand Elder on planet Namek possessed a unique ability to unlock the full potential of chosen individuals. Piccolo is aware of this because he knows that the Grand Elder unlocked Gohan and Krillin's potential. With this knowledge in mind, Piccolo seeks out Dende, hoping to receive the same treatment. Unfortunately, Dende is unable to grant Piccolo's request due to his young age. Nevertheless, Dende offers an alternative solution by suggesting that Piccolo uses the Dragon Balls to make his wish. With a newfound sense of hope, Piccolo readily agrees to Dende's suggestion and springs into action. Determined to retrieve the Dragon Balls, he wastes no time and quickly reaches out to call Bulma and ensure that she still has the Dragon Balls on her. She confirms that she does, and Piccolo makes way to meet up with Bulma. Meanwhile, our attention shifts back to Goku and the rest of the gang, who are all eating this good-ass looking meal. It's a whole feast. It's a banquet prepared by none other than Limo. Limo did so good of a job that even Beerus is enjoying every single bite that he's taken from every piece of food. He's enjoying it so much that he tells Whis that he's been relieved of his duties as the chef. After satisfying their appetite, Goku and Vegeta are ready to fight, and the battle commences. With Vegeta on top of the tree looking down on Goku and Goku below, Goku dashes towards Vegeta after Whis says begin, and the lightning fast attacks begin. They're attacking, springing all over the place to the point where the tree just gets split in half. Beerus notices as the two are fighting that Vegeta's moves have changed slightly, and this is the result of his training. He knows very well that they're going to be there for a while, so he's like, hey, let's just get some dessert for the meantime. So he makes way to go get some dessert. And Cheelai tries to insist for her to go grab that. But Beerus is a sly dog. I see you, my boy. He says, yeah, let me go help you. I'm a gentleman. Let me give you a hand. And walks off with Cheelai. And I just admire this next panel. Broly is too invested to even think about dessert. He is entirely focused on this battle. And you can see that he's eager to learn. And it's actually really cool too. It's almost like he looks up to Goku and Vegeta in many ways and is always looking forward to what he can learn from them next. Now, earlier in the video, I mentioned about my other favorite trio, Cheelai, Limo, and Broly. But if we're going to talk about Broly being a part of the Saiyan trio, then this trio is pretty freaking sick too. Just imagine these three pulling up to you in a fight. I'm shitting myself if I'm most characters. It's not going to end well for you. The battle intensifies between Goku and Vegeta. Their immense power and energy creates an environment that rages around them. The sheer force of their attacks generates powerful gusts of winds, causing a massive tornado to form. And the ferocity of the winds is so great that even the water in the nearby surrounding is whipped up into a frenzy, spraying in every direction. In a moment of quick thinking, Beerus uses his powers to create a shield that protects his companions from the onslaught of the water. But this is just Beerus being a lover boy because Cheelai's there and he doesn't want her to get wet.
Yo, my boy, you just gotta stop talking. Do you hear yourself right now? Listen to what you're saying.
You got a really filthy mind. Shenron, grant me this wish, says Piccolo, and soon asks for his potential to be drawn out to the limit just like the Great Elder. And it is done. But that was only the first wish. Bulma seized the opportunity with the last two wishes to make herself appear younger and more vibrant. To her, aging was a constant source of anxiety, and the thought of others noticing her wrinkles and fine lines filled her with dread. Or at least I see it that way. Though some might seem her wishes as ridiculous, it's actually a very real concern for Bulma, and one that many people struggle with every day, even in our world. After all, who wouldn't want to look and feel their best no matter their age? And Bulma is someone who already has all the riches and is this brilliant inventor. At this rate, why not just make these wishes and make it easy? She already has everything else. As Bulma reflects on the two wishes already used, she realizes with regret that they missed an opportunity to bring Goku and Vegeta back to Earth. Despite the group's efforts to contact Whis, they had failed, leaving them with a sinking feeling of disappointment. Nonetheless, they accept that what's done is done, and Piccolo takes it upon himself to fly off and infiltrate the Red Ribbon base once more. Oh, we got a nosy Trunks listening in. Intrigued by the conversation he overhears, Trunks reaches out to his grounded friend Goten, hinting at the exciting events unfolding in their vicinity. However, before Goten can join in on the action, he's got to find a way to get past the fearsome Chi-Chi. Best of luck to him. At last, Piccolo arrives at the Red Ribbon base and eavesdrop on a conversation between their enemies. Their discussion centers around Gohan and how the enemies possess footage of him defeating Cell as a child. They express concern that Gohan could become a powerful adversary and suggest taking action by taking his daughter Pan. Thankfully, even Dr. Hedo has morals and recognizes that kidnapping an innocent child is wrong. However, as Hedo is not the one in charge, Magenta persists in ordering his men to execute the kidnapping of Pan. In response, Piccolo volunteers to join the mission to ensure Pan's safety. In my opinion, it was fortunate that Piccolo was present to protect Pan, but not necessary. If he hadn't been there, I have no doubt that these random goons would have been no match for Pan's skill, her combat, all of that. She's no master, but she's owned her skill in her training with Piccolo. The chapter concludes with Piccolo accompanying the men on their mission to capture Pan. As we approach the thrilling part of the movie where we witness Gohan's explosive reaction to Pan's kidnapping and the epic battle between the Gammas and Supercell, I'm just glad we're getting closer to the end. However, I must admit that it has been a bit of a slow burn, and I am hopeful that the next arc will be nothing short of mind-blowing. It's a bit frustrating to wait through an arc that is so similar to the movie we've already seen, but all we can do is remain patient and wait for the action to unfold at this point. And shit, at least we're getting Gohan Beast in the manga. Thanks for watching, I appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subbing, liking, commenting, sharing, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys on the next one.